Here we go. Okay, first team meeting of 2026. I'm so excited that all of y'all are here. There are 15 people watching live right now, which is really exciting. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm excited because this is going to be a great thing for our team and for our group. And I want to just start with a little bit of announcements of things that's going on right now in our business, things that are coming or happening at the end from now to the end of the month. And first, if y'all haven't seen your news tab, they did add a new diffuser that's coming out on Monday, which is super exciting. The 70th Disneyland Resort diffuser. The oil and the wax, which is really cool. I don't think they've ever done the same scent in oil and wax. So it's going to be the same scent in both of those. And then that you can get the diffuser base, you can get the shade. So share that with all of your like Disney lovers, people that love Disney or diffusers that you might not know who loves Disney, but definitely share that with your customers. World Tour is January 31st. If you signed up for virtual, I think that's going to be really good. I know it's different doing virtual, but I think that this is going to be a really good one just based off of what I've heard from, I did go to leadership. So I heard a little bit about what we're going to talk about and some products that are coming. So it's going to be exciting. But I did want to throw this out there. If anybody is in driving distance to Gastonia, North Carolina, some of us are getting together for the weekend and we have an Airbnb. But if y'all want to come and watch for the day, feel free to do that. Like, let me know. We're going to get together and just watch it. Some of us, I think there's 7 of us right now that are planning to get together and spend the whole weekend together. But on that Saturday, on the 31st, if you would like to come and watch with us, feel free to do that. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I love getting together, even though it's virtual. I still wanted to have that relationship thing because that has been such a huge thing for me doing events and being together. So I'm excited to be able to offer for us to watch it together anyway. I know Amber is going to be able to see some of her teamies, so that's exciting out in California. And
Yay.
yes. And so also incentive period. I know sometimes this can be a hard and touchy subject, and it's hard to reach. The incentive is always difficult. That ends also on the 31st, and I want to give you a piece just encouragement. Even if it feels out of reach right now, keep doing the things that get you points because even if you don't reach that incentive, it's okay. But if you are doing the things that earn you points, that's going to help your business grow and that's going to increase your paycheck. So why not just do it anyway? Do the things that get you points. And the reason why they give us points for that is because that's how we can grow in our business. So if you have any interest in that at all, some of you may not care to do the sponsoring side of things. But if that is something that you do care about and you want to grow your business, do those things anyway. And you never know, you might get to the incentive by doing that. We only have, let's see, we have 9 days left, but there's a lot of ways for extra points this month to get that. So I believe in y'all. I know that y'all can do hard things. And then last, the join kits. There are some really good join kits right now with the $19 one for people that are not wanting to put a lot of money into it up front, the $49 mystery kit. I've had a lot of people really interested in the $49 kit, and there are really good products in that. Share that, of course, share the host kit if anybody wants to do a party first. But share that because there's been a lot of people asking questions. People that were a consultant before and came back because they either had been away for 2 years or wanted to reinstate and just try it again. So share that. You never know who's watching. Even if you're posting and people aren't responding, you never know. So just keep sharing that if that's something you want to do as far as growing a team. And yeah, I think that wraps up the little announcements. We're going to go first. Tammy is going to share a little bit about herself. So I'm going to spotlight her and I'm going to mute myself.
Hey guys. So first thing I want to say is kudos to Caitlin. She got recognized for sponsoring 4 people this month by home office. And that, if you don't know, that is a big deal. 4 people's a lot. And, getting recognized on one of our home office Facebook pages is a big deal as well. So Congratulations to her for that. So, um, but my name is Tammy Wright, and Caitlin is my sponsor. I'm directly her. Um, she was not who I originally signed up under, but um, right now, um, for the last probably 4 years, she has. I'm directly under her. I joined right in the middle of COVID. I was having so I had purchased Scentsy one time before. A girl that I had worked with um, had started selling it, and I bought a mini warmer and a bar of black raspberry vanilla. And I just loved it. The scent was so good. I had no idea how to use it other than to plug my little mini warmer in and just keep adding wax, even though my wax didn't smell anymore. And then I would have spillage from it, so I didn't really know how to, all the good secrets on how to use it. And then that girl was selling, and I didn't hear anything about Scentsy for years. And I got invited to a party. Um, it was an online party with a friend, and so I was like, "Oh yeah, I remember this." And I got to looking at some stuff, and I bought me some wax, and I bought went ahead and got me two warmers. And a little while later, after that party was over with, I reached out to the girl that was doing that party, and I was like, "Hey, I would like to do a party," because I was always the one who wanted to do parties, so that way I could get the rewards for it. So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to have a party, have my friends buy, and that way I could reap the rewards. So we're doing the party. Like I say, it's COVID. You can't be around other people, all that kind of stuff. So my dad had a doctor's appointment, and I was sitting in the parking lot waiting on him. And I was looking, and I was like, my party's going pretty well. Um, I think I will reach out to this person and see about joining. So, sitting there in the parking lot, didn't talk to my husband about it or nothing. And I signed up right then. My party got flipped over to me. I started, had a Facebook party, all the good kind of stuff. So, I hit shooting star, and I hit sensational start levels 1, 2, and 3. Um, I feel like things were obviously a lot different then than what they are now, and I honestly feel like it was really easy to do it. I mean, you didn't have problem with people buying. Everybody wanted to buy, and everybody was signing up to join. So I hit sensational start 1, 2, and 3, all those good kind of things, boards, all that for that. Then my business just really grew really fast. I started promoting. People started signing up. I was having sales like crazy, and I was telling my husband, like when I'd get a check, I would be like, "What in the world? Look at this money I'm getting." Said, they could be really something to this. So was promoting, getting more people on my team. And then I earned leadership and was able to go to Cabo, Mexico, was able to take my husband with me. I earned that. Then they were doing a Disney incentive at the time. It was another family one, kind of like what they're doing with Mexico now. And I earned it. And at the time, we were still in COVID. So we had the option to either go on the trip or take a buyout. So that's what I did. Was I was and my husband was sick at the time. There was just a lot of things going on. So I just took the payout, and I was like, and I mean, and it was a good payout. So I was just like, dang, I can take a couple vacations with this and take my whole family on a vacation. So that's what I wound up doing. I earned Alaska. I was able to take an Alaskan cruise. Um, I earned New York. We had a choice of like 4 or 5 places we could go. I chose New York. So during those last past few years, I mean, I got to experience things that I never ever would have got to experience had I not signed up for Scentsy. So, we have just been really blessed with not only the trips, but just being able to have some extra income. There's the SFR trips. My first one was to Salt Lake City. I can remember talking to Caitlin, and she was like, "You need to go, you need to go." And I was like, I just don't know about that, with the cost of it, this all that kind of stuff, and she just kept encouraging me and encouraging me. And I told my husband, I was like, I'm just going to do it. You know, we had talked about him retiring part time just because, I had this extra income coming in. So that winded up happening. Um, and he retired part time for the last several years. He just recently, well, last month he retired full time. But the extra income that I've had from this has helped with being able to do that and to do other things. So yes, things have changed drastically from when it was COVID to now. My team is not what it used to be. Um, you know, Sales don't just come as easy as what they used to. Used to, you could just post it and everybody were buy. They would buy it. They didn't care. Everybody was stuck at home and they wanted their house to smell good, so they were just buying like crazy. So it's not so much like that anymore. It seems like for me, I have to work a little, harder at it. Um, a lot of my team members have dropped off. So there's definitely been that dip, and I have definitely felt that dip. And I would be lying if I said that it becomes a struggle because it does. And, when I mean, I'm having a bad off month this month. And I can't pinpoint why, but I'm a really off month this month. But even though I'm having an off month, it doesn't mean I'm going to give up everything that I've worked so hard to get. I just keep going every month after every month after every month. And that's something that you have to do in this business. I mean, you can join to buy from yourself and have no pressure and just buy whenever you want to and get your discount. But if you really want something out of this business and to make it a business, I mean, you do have to work for it. Nothing easy comes free. So this is a lot of hard work sometimes that you have to put in for it, but the reward that you get is so great. I mean, you're getting an extra check. You have all these chances to earn these incentives. We have SFR. We make bonds with each other. So it's so much more than just worrying about selling a bar wax. So you make a lot of relationships with people, become true friends, and those of us that have been in this for several years, and we've got to know each other and stay in with each other whenever we get a house and we room together and all that. Like I feel like when we get back together, we might not talk that much in between things, but when we do get back together for that weekend or for that week, it's just like we pick up right where we left off, you know. So um, there's a lot of aspects to this business, and you know, it's really all in what you want. It's all in what you want. If you want it to work and you want to have income, you want to earn those trips, um, you have to work at it, you know, to get it. Whether if you, I work a full time job, um, I could tell you a bunch of other stuff about being a caretaker and all that kind of thing, but and I do, I get down and I get tired. I'm just sometimes I'm like, what am I doing? I'm an event person. I love to do events, but they're a lot of work. And before I get ready to start one, every time, whenever we're loading up and getting ready to go, I'm like, why am I doing this? Why? Um, but then after I get there and I get set up and I start getting my customers, you know, coming in and meeting new people, that then I remember why I do it, you know. So this is a bit. I love doing this, and when I do retire, um, in a couple more years, but when I do retire, I mean, I will hit this wide open, you know, and just go from there. But it can be very rewarding to be able to do this. And I will let Amber go.
Sorry, I had to figure out how to unmute myself. I don't like me being big because look, this is very embarrassing, but I just kind of talk about everything. This nasty ass cold sore. I'm like hating it. So don't look at my lips. Just listen to my voice. All right, guys? Can we give me a thumbs up? All right. So crazy me. Um, like Caitlin wanted us to talk about our whys. And so, my why, of course, I have to tell a story because those of you that know me, I ramble and I have to have a story for everything. So, it only seems fit that I tell you my story with my props and all the things. So, bear with me. Let's see. So, in 2021, I was going, so Caitlin, I am not going to stop it. In 2021, I was going through a little rough patch in my life, and I really didn't know what I was feeling. Oh, let's call it depression. I feel like I was going in a downward spiral and it wasn't very good. It was the worst time in my life. I really needed something to get my life together, and I really didn't know what that was. And the time I was buying Scentsy from a girl named Alicia, and she kept asking me, as we ask everybody else, would you like to host a party? And I kept telling her no. Nope, not gonna do it. I don't have any friends. Nobody's gonna buy it from me. I don't want to have a party. And she kept asking over and over again. And finally, I just get her to shut up. I said, all right, fine, let's have the dang party. So, set up the Facebook group, invited all the friends, invited all my friends on Facebook to see who was going to come. And out of nowhere, people were joining left and right, left and right. People I haven't spoken to in years, years. Diana's one of them. I don't know if she's come back on yet. Angie, she was my first friend at my first job when I was 16. And we won't talk about how old I am, but that was many years ago. And just people were just coming out of the woodwork supporting me. And Angie made the first purchase, and I was like super excited. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I should join Scentsy. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Should I or not? Now, mind you, my first warmer that I purchased was this one. Okay. And if you guys know anything about me, I am very much of a positive affirmation person. So this, I kept looking at this warmer every day. Love your journey, love your journey, love your journey. And then I also had this one that says, do what makes you happy. Okay. And then every day I'd get into my car, and on my shifter I had, I'm a prop girl, this, no rain, no rainbows. So all these spoke to me, and I thought, you know what? Maybe I need to join Scentsy. All these people are coming and supporting me. Maybe I need these people in my life to help bring more joy to my life, because at that time I wasn't feeling it. So I told Alicia, you know, it was day one of our party. I think I'd like to sell. And she's like, yeah, we could totally, you know, have you join and make this your launch party. And I was like, sweet. But guys, here's the thing. And Caitlin, I don't even know if you know this or not. So we're all about flipping parties, right? Alicia didn't know you could do that. So I had a kick-ass party. It was $1,200, and she didn't flip it to me because she didn't know you could, right? So for the first year that I was with Scentsy, I didn't know that you could flip parties because my sponsor wasn't necessarily a sponsor and didn't teach me these things, right? So here I am, joined Scentsy, had $1,000 sale or party, but I didn't get that PRV. I sat there and I messaged everybody. I was like, hey, I started this new adventure and this and that. And like I said, everybody was coming out of the woodwork. So in April in 2021, I joined. I'm sorry, I'm looking at notes. My PRV that I actually got myself was $4,600. In May, it was $4,900. And that was just me starting, just spreading the word, talking, showing my excitement, showing my enthusiasm, getting people to feel that energy with me. And it was just crazy after that. But my sponsor was nowhere to be seen. So I'm telling you guys that and keep focusing on that because I want you guys to understand that we don't have the magic answers. We do it all on our own and we figure it out. Our sponsors are there to kind of guide us, but we don't have that magic solution. You know, we just do it. So let's flash forward a little bit, shall we? I also hit Shooting Star. I hit Sensational Star at 1, 2, and 3. I achieved this director status in September 23, but I didn't keep it and I didn't let that bring me down because I kept looking at, I need to love my journey. I kept looking at, do what makes you happy. And this truly does make me happy. And you know what? There is no rain, no rainbows, right? So why do I say all that to you guys? We all join for a reason. Whatever that is. So whenever we're getting down, a lot of you guys, we asked you guys, what do you want us to talk about? What struggles are you having? And so many of you guys were saying, you know, the sales aren't there. Let me tell you guys, $4,900 and $4,600 when I started. Do you know what my PRV was last month? I didn't even get 2,000, and I've never, ever not hit 2,000. I think I didn't even know what I was at 1,600 maybe last month, if that. The worst month since I've been with Scentsy, but I'm not gonna let that break me down. Why? Loving my journey. The journey. So what's part of the journey, guys? I'm just gonna go ramble because that's what I do. So some of you guys are on here. Let me see. So Susan, we're gonna talk about you for a moment. So not necessarily you, but this kind of ties into you. So we talk about all the friends and the connections we've made. So on Monday, we are launching our the Disney diffuser, right? And when I look at that diffuser, the only reason why I want to buy that diffuser is because it brings back so many memories. SFR in Orlando. Susan, Tracy, Jessica, Amy Lynn, and I, 40 and 50-year-olds, spent the day at Disneyland, had the absolute time of our life, hot as hell, rained on us, and then at the end of the night, we watched fireworks at Cinderella's castle. I will never, ever forget that. And I wouldn't have had that memory if it wasn't for Scentsy, right? You think about all these things it does so much for you. It's so crazy. It's so crazy the things that Scentsy does for you. And I wouldn't change anything about it at all, like really. So going off on a tangent. My sponsor. So never had any interaction with my sponsor.
Girl.
What? I didn't hear you.
I said you're making me cry. I love
Oh,
you.
no, don't cry.
I love you.
I give you a hug. Love you, girl. So my sponsor, Alicia, she never ever had anything to do with me at all. She's no longer with Scentsy. And then I jumped to her sponsor, and then I don't think she's with us. Is she, Caitlin? No. Yes, she is. Well, now Caitlin is my sponsor. So in January of 2025, I jumped to Caitlin. But I want to say something, and here I might make Caitlin cry. I don't know if she's feeling emotional. But all along, Caitlin has been the one that has been there and supported me. She didn't have to. She took me under her wings. Any questions I had, she was there. And I know that Caitlin's beaten herself up recently because she feels that she hasn't been the leader. And I know this is nothing that we are supposed to talk about, but she needs to hear this. And I want you guys all to chime in and let her know that she's doing an amazing job. But I love you. So she didn't have to be there for me at the time when she didn't even know that I needed her, honestly. She didn't have to be there for me, but she took me under her wings and she quietly, without her knowing, taught me the ways, taught me how to be consistent, taught me how to be persistent, how to not to give up. I talk to her every so often and say, I don't know that I can do this anymore. She's like, girl, I am not going to let you quit. You are not quitting, in that little country voice of hers. And I didn't, because she believed in me, and we all believe in you guys too. So I don't want you guys to give up. What do they say? Never quit in the hard times, quit in the good times, or something like that. And so while you guys are having hard times right now, don't let the hard times defeat you. You are stronger than those hard times. And if you need a little kick in the ass, you guys all know how to reach me. I'm here for you 100% of the time. I may be working, I may be busy at work, but I'm always available for you guys. And I want you guys to understand that any of us, I believe, would be here. And that's the whole point that Caitlin wanted to do this, is so we can come together as a team versus us just sitting there and trying to learn on the sidelines. Like, we want to put a face. Does that make sense? I don't know if it makes sense. I think I'm confusing myself. But anyways, because I do that. It's been a long day, guys. And my mess is distracting me back there. Anyway, I'm rambling. I can go on and just talk about nonsense. If you guys do have any questions, you guys need anything from us, do know that we are here. Caitlin is going to send us home now and talk about some of her life lessons, and I cannot wait to hear this.
All right. Hold on just a second while I spotlight. Okay. So I am going to try not to keep this super long. So I've been with Scentsy now for over 8 years. I joined in September of 2017. So I had a long time to go back and look at my journey and where I started and where I am now. So I joined in 2017. I was only 21 years old. Okay. I was in college. I was just starting my senior year of college when I joined. For those of you that know Katie Lassiter, she's who I joined under. We grew up in the same pretty much area, same pretty much town, same area. Which Katie Lassiter is the super director. And this just goes to show that if you have consultants that live around you, don't feel like you can't do it, because there's a lot of consultants, because you always have your own circle. I'll get into that more in a little bit, but Katie Lassiter was my sponsor. And when she talked to me about joining, it was because I love Luna, and there was the Stargaze warmer was coming out. I think it was coming out brand new at the time. That warmer was $50. The join kit that month was $49. And she was like, why don't you just do this? I was like, I've never once ever thought about doing something like this. I don't know how to do something like this. And she was like, just do it and get paid off your own orders. Katie had only been with Scentsy at that point for like 6 months or somewhere around there. She joined in 2017 as well. So we were both kind of learning at the same time. She didn't know what she was doing. I had no idea what I was doing, but I joined, and I had a launch party online. I didn't do anything in person. I did it completely online, and it was mainly from people back where I'm from. Now, I'm from literally the middle of nowhere. There was no stoplight, nothing. Like literally 30 minutes to Walmart, an hour to the mall. I mean, in the middle of nowhere. Not a lot of people. So like most of the people that supported me were from like my hometown where I grew up. People that went to church with me. That was pretty much it. And that my first month, I was looking back, my PRV was 1,100. My second month with Scentsy was like 2,300. And I was like, whoa, I was not expecting this. I was like, what, this is crazy. So it was kind of fun. I realized that like, this is something I can share with people that go to college with me, because they can use it in their dorms. I lived with a couple girls that were like my best friends, and they loved the stuff too. So it was a lot of fun, like smelling the testers together, and like, it was just fun. It didn't seem to me as something that I was going to turn in anything serious. I was working at Sweet Frog at the time just to make a little bit extra money. And I worked that summer of 2018. I worked at a camp that was it was a whole summer, and it was like a day camp for children. So I was up in the morning from like 6 o'clock, and I had kids until like 5:30 that day. So that I was looking back at my sales, and I kind of wanted to talk about like the reason I'm going back is I want to talk about like the ups and downs, the time that from when I started versus where I am now, and how many times it has literally been up and down the entire time, but also what I did to stay consistent during all of this. So my first month, like I said, 1100 PRV. Second month, 2300 PRV. Third month was the first time I sponsored somebody, and I was like, "Whoa! Like, what am I going to do with this person? I don't know how to lead. I don't even know what I'm doing. How am I supposed to help somebody else?" Um, but my fourth month, I had 915 PRV, so it went way down, but I sponsored somebody else. And it just like it grew very quickly. People joined my team, and I was like, whoa, like what is going on? But I had so much fun helping people start. Like I was like, here's what I did. I don't really know what else to tell you other than just do what I did. That's all I knew at the time. Is just do what I did, and hopefully it'll work for you, was basically what I was telling them. Um, and so um, in 2018, in the summer, I worked at camp. I did very little that summer. I um just kept it consistent. I think I did have like 500 PRV those 3 months of the summer, but I kept posting, but I was like, I can't, this isn't gonna consume me. This isn't my whole world. I have other things to do. It was just like to keep working. So in 2018, I graduated from undergrad, and then I started that same year back in the fall, I started my master's program at Gardner Webb University, and I was in my master's program for 3.5 years. So I say all this to say too that I was very busy. My life was, there was no like plan necessarily. Like I knew kind of what I wanted to do, but I didn't know where I was going to end up. I didn't know what I was going to end up doing, even though I had an idea. So I started my master's program, and when I did that, I had to go. The classes were at night, so in the mornings I had to get up and go to like my work study type thing all day. So I was there all day, and then I came home and went like ate supper and went back to class. So I was very busy, but I kept being consistent. Kept posting, kept sharing, kept doing parties, and I did parties like that is what I did. Online parties all the way. That's all I did. No in person, nothing. Um and so in 2019 would have been the first time I ever did went to an event. And this is when everything changed for me. I went to World Tour in February of 2019. I went by myself. I didn't know anybody other than Katie. She was my sponsor, but like we didn't really, I don't even know if I sat with her. I think I sat by myself. Um, and that same year for SFR, I went again by myself to SFR to Austin, Texas. And I only knew Katie, didn't have anybody on my team that was going with me. I did have some people on my team, but they didn't go. But me and my parents went, and we made it like a family trip. We drove, we stopped in Pensacola and spent some time there, and then went to Texas and went to SFR. Mom went with me to the sessions. And after that, so here's where I'm going to share some numbers with y'all because I want to really talk about how the relationships of this business truly change everything. If you go to events, like if you can go to an event, it really does change everything for me. And I know you hear that and you're probably like, oh yeah, you just like everybody says go to events. You don't understand that until you go and you experience it. And so when I went to that event, so that would have been July of 2019. Um, August 2019, I had 2,300 PRV. I sponsored three people. September of 2019, I had 4,300 PRV, which is the highest I'd ever had. I got my first director, which was my sister. Okay, so my sister joined under me, and then she promoted to director. So it was like, okay, now I have another person in my family. So my sister is selling. Everybody would have thought, like, how are you going to sell to people when your sister's selling? Don't y'all have the same people? We had different circles. Like it still worked. Yes, we knew some same people, but she had her circle, and she did great. She started off and she promoted to director so quick. Um,
You know
and
the guy ad you always see, the one with a woman. Sorry about that.
oh, that's okay. No,
I'm
that's
sorry.
okay. I wanted to make sure somebody wasn't trying to say something. Um, and so it was just crazy because like once she started and she became a director, I was like, wow, like I got to see her mentor people and her do really awesome too. And it was like, this is so much fun. We get to do this together. And so, okay, sorry, I'm looking at my notes to make sure. Um, okay, so Nicole joined. She promoted to director as well. So my personal life at that time, it had been pretty crazy. I mean, I had kind of gotten into a routine of how master's was going to go. My master's program, I was like I said, I was going to my work study, coming home, then going back to class. That's just how it was. But in between that and during work study, I worked Scentsy. I did parties. And I just kept doing parties. Every time somebody did a party for me, whenever that party ended and the people that ordered in there, I checked in with them and I said, hey, I just want to see how you like your Scentsy. And then I was like, how would you like to get free Scentsy like so and so did? That's all I did. Like literally every single time somebody ordered from a party, I checked in with them, asked how they liked it, and said, let's do a party like so and so did. And it was like just cycle after cycle and party after party. So it wasn't hard for me. I mean, it felt pretty easy, like, but I also asked and asked and asked over and over and over again because I realized, like, wow, this is bringing in like pretty good money. And I'm only, I mean, like I said, at this time I would have been like 23. And I was like, this is crazy. Like, this is not normal. And so, in February of 2020, this is when things really started to grow with my team. But I got a puppy. So this was like, again, chaos. So I got a puppy. I lived in an apartment, which was not good, ideal for having a dog. And so I actually moved out and moved into my own home. And then I had World Tour like a week before that. So I went to World Tour, came home, got a dog, moved out of the apartment, moved into my own house. And it was just like, just always go, go, go. So at that point, now, and when I'm going to doing my master's program, I am going to work study, coming home at lunch to let him out, going back to work study, coming back home to eat supper and let him out, go back to class and come back home. Class ended at 9 o'clock. So when I came back, I mean, it was just like go, go, go. But those were some of my better months. That's when things really started picking up. We know that COVID was kind of starting around that time, which at the time made me think like, okay, this is about to go downhill. This is about to be bad. People aren't going to spend money because they're not working, but it like shot up and I was like, what is going on? This is when a lot of some of y'all joined. So I got my third director in April of 2021. So I was like, oh my gosh, I am going to promote to superstar director. I need one more director to promote. And I was like, I would have never thought this was going to be me. I would have never thought that I would be able to do this. And so in every time when I looked at my numbers, and I say this because every time after an event, whether it was World Tour or SFR, every single time my PRV jumped like crazy and I sponsored way more. And then I promoted shortly after. So I promoted to director right after an event. I promoted to star director 2 months after an event, and I promoted to superstar director in September, which would have been like two months after an event. So every time I got together with other people and heard how to run their business and just had the relationships, honestly, it put so much like encouragement into me that like, okay, I can see other people do this and I can see them reach their goals and I can see them do the things they want to do in their business. It made me just say, I'm going all into this. So I'm going to show y'all this. I have every year that I have done this, and this is the one thing I want y'all to get if you don't get anything else, is the consistency from the time I started to now. The one thing I have done consistently is ask about parties. Now, I used to get parties like left and right during COVID. And I'm going to show y'all this. This is my 2021 planner. I would write down every time I had a party, I wrote down, oh, look, Melissa Cooper, your name's on here. I wrote down everybody that did a party. This was all the parties I was doing in January of 2021. And then February, look how many parties I was doing. And this is not to be like, oh, look at me. I was asking like crazy. I was like, this is like, I need to be saving money. And I was asking all these people to do parties. And I mean, this is how my whole planner is from that whole year. Some months were a little bit slower, but I asked to do parties. And that is something that made me that month. Look, I had one, but I kept going. I kept asking. And I started seeing like how important it was to have parties. And that was what I relied on. Now, um, so anyway, y'all get the point. I have those and I keep them because I look back and I'm like, okay, so and so did a party then, and I'm gonna ask them to do it again. So I go back and I look who did a party for me before that might do it again. And I continuously asked, and I did that every single month. Another thing that I found to be very helpful, I'm trying to see if it's in this planner, was, you know, y'all might say, like, how can you keep up with that? How do you know what to do each day? Okay, here we go. Every day I printed out a label, and this is actually Katie Lassiter's label system. I printed out what I needed to do. And this is something that I need to get back to because I don't do it. But it every day I had a list of what I need to do and I checked it off. And every Monday from week to week was the same. Every Tuesday from week to week was the same. And this was based off of what I needed to do in my business at whatever position or whatever title, whatever it was that I was in. I knew what I had to do. And that made it because my life was chaos. I worked, I went to school, I had a puppy. I had to have something like this. So then, okay, so 20, a little bit, talk about things a little bit more personal. So in 2021, I also started dating a guy, which he's now my husband. So this is kind of funny. I've never really told this part, but I want to share this because like we have things in life that are hard sometimes. We struggle with finding time to do stuff because of our jobs. We have hard times where we just struggle emotionally. And, at that point in 2021, I would have been, um, let's see, so I would have been, it's 5 years ago. Anyways, at that point in your life, when you are, how old was I, would I have been? 25. It's like the world ends when you break up, when somebody breaks up. At that point, I was 25. I was like, okay, this feels it. Like this feels like the person for me. And it like did not work. We broke up. And it was just like even though we hadn't been together for long, it really like hit me because I felt like this was like the person. And so emotionally, I was not in a good place. That was in August of 2021. I looked at my PRV in August. It was 3,200, which was low for me at that time. September, the next month, I had 9,500 PRV. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to let this affect me. Like, if I'm not going to let that get me down. I'm not going to let Scentsy go down because I'm emotionally hurt. Like, I'm going to go all in. So I went all in and I actually graduated in December of 2021 from graduate school. So at that point, I'm like, okay, now I gotta get a job. And, at this point, I'm like not tied down anywhere. I'm like, I can move, I can go anywhere I want to go. And, was going to move to Raleigh actually for a job that I got. Ended up, actually, the guy that I was dating, which is again is now my husband, reached out to me again that January and we were dating again. And he also lived like an hour and 15 minutes from me. So it's kind of a long distance relationship. Adding on, trying to get starting a new job. I do clinical mental health counseling as well. That's kind of my part-time thing. I still do that, but I started doing that online. I do it completely telehealth. So I was adjusting to, okay, like this is the middle of like when things shot up with Scentsy. But I'm like, okay, I've got to do Scentsy, I've got to do parties, but now I've got my job over here and I have this relationship. He lives an hour and 15 minutes away. He had a 4-year-old at the time, and she was starting to go to school, and because he went to work early, I was driving some mornings like super early to go take her to where she needed to go on the daycares on to her daycare some days because he couldn't do it. So I had to get there, take her to school. So I was managing all of this, but I was like, okay, some days I was like, this is too much. But since he was doing so much for me that I was like, this is important to me. I've got to find time. Whether it's like I'm scheduling posts or if this is important to me, I'm going to make it work. I'm not going to let this slide. So I found time to do it. And that's one thing I want to say to y'all as far as just, we all have busy lives and I'm not at all discrediting that because like it's a struggle now for me. But the thing is we have to be like, you know what? There are going to be times that it's slow and there are going to be times that we really struggle, whether it's emotionally, mentally, physically. We don't have anything to give. And we're like, I don't have the time to do it. I don't even want to think about having to post right now. You know what? It's okay. Take a day. Take a day and say this, my life doesn't depend on it today, but I'm going to come back to this tomorrow. Or if this is important enough to me, I'm not going to let this slide because of what I'm feeling right now. Like I can come back to this when I feel ready. Um, but also to the relationship with a lot of y'all, the people on my team and my customers really helped me keep going because it was like, you know what? Like the relationships that I have built with Scentsy have meant so much to me that like I don't, as women, it's hard to have friends in this world and women friends. It is hard. Whether it's because women sometimes are hard to deal with, but let me just say, this group of ladies that we have in our group are so like I don't have any, we never have issues. We always love being together. And it's really encouraging to know that like no matter our age, no matter what it is that we're experiencing in life, that we can always come together and we have something in common. And that has really kept me going in days that it's hard. And that's why we need to come together and help each other. And Amber actually texted me one day a long time ago, and this was like She doesn't, I was having an awful day. I mean, I can honestly tell you, I've never wanted to quit Scentsy, but there was this one day that I was like, I just don't know if I can keep doing this. This is like I was just mentally drained. And she texted me and sent me like a $10 Starbucks card. But the words she sent me was like, you're doing awesome. I wanted you to know that like you're right where you need to be. And I was like, whoa, it was like perfect timing. And it was that reminder that like that's when we need each other. And that's what I want to have for us as this group is when we're struggling, it's okay, y'all. We all have days, we all have weeks, we all have months that we might be really in a hard place in whatever it is that you're dealing with in your life. But you decide like what is the reason why I joined Scentsy? For me, it was just to make a little extra money. I had no plans of it being like this. Now I have been able, really the relationships is what it means the most to me. Getting together with team members at events or getting together um like Friendsgiving. I'm going to talk about that just a little bit and I promise I'm going to try to be done in just a minute. But this is where I went to Salt Lake City for SFR in 2022. Tammy mentioned that. I got to walk the stage as a star director with my sister, which was really cool. And it was like very intimidating. I was scared to death to walk that stage. But at that point, it was like, wow, like, is this really my life? Like, it didn't really set in. It was like, this is really crazy that Cincy is doing this for me. Like, I never would have thought. Um, we stayed together in a group with people on our team. That was so much fun staying together in Airbnb. Um, and I even missed part of my boyfriend's family trip for that. I was like, I'm not missing SFR. I flew straight from SFR and went to their went to their family like for the last few days of their trip because I was like, this is important to me. Then 2023, September of 2023, I promoted to superstar director. On Nicole's wedding night, she also promoted to superstar director. But also let me tell that when I say that, I lost directors before that. Like I had directors and then some of them either canceled or one decided it just wasn't for her anymore. And one was made to quit. And so um that was discouraging because I was like, I was so close to promoting and then somebody quit. And that's something I want y'all to know is you're going to have people in your team. If you're a leader, you're going to have people come, you're going to have them leave. You're going to have really great PRV months. You're going to have months that it's like, what am I even doing wrong? Like, I feel like I'm doing everything and I'm still struggling. It's okay. We all deal with that. No matter how long you've been in this business, we're going to have those days and it is okay. Um, in April of 2023, I got to go on my first incentive trip. I had earned some, but because of COVID, I didn't go. And there were some other people on our team that went, and that was like we went on a cruise to Bahamas, Jamaica, and Haiti. So being able to go on a Scentsy trip was like, wow, Scentsy spoils people like, I mean, it was insane. I never experienced anything like that. Being able to, first of all, never been on a cruise, but to experience the way Scentsy loves us, really showed me at that point, like, wow, Scentsy, they really do care and they want to make this something for us that a really great experience. Um, went to SFR in Charlotte, in 2023. We have Friendsgiving at Amber's house. We've done that for the last 3 years. So we get together before Thanksgiving and do a Friendsgiving. And this just shows y'all that like we truly do love our group and spending time together. Like um we don't just do it because we want to sell Scentsy. We love spending time together. Um, I was able to go on a Mexico cruise for leadership in January 2024. I earned that, and actually that's when me and my husband got engaged. I bought a house right after leadership. I moved in March 1st of 2024. Then I went to Superstar Director Summit, which is something you go to as you promote, in Idaho, which again was another place. I mean, I have not really traveled all that much, but I got to go to Idaho. Then we went to Florida for SFR that year. Went back to Friendsgiving to Amber's house. This is showing you all the times that we really have spent time together. Um, then I got to go to Bora Bora, okay, with Scentsy. That was insane. So then, like, for me, the traveling was something that I never really thought I needed. I never really thought that that was something I wanted to do. But so anyway, got married last April. Then I went to Greece and Turkey on a incentive trip to in June of 2025, and then we went to SFR last year. So like just to show like all the things that I've been able to do because of Scentsy, even when my life was busy, even when there were times that I just didn't want to do it. I went back and forth on having leaders and then not having leaders. I went back and forth on being paid at title, and let me tell you something. I haven't been paid at title as a superstar director since February of 2024. Okay. It's not easy right now, but it means enough to me to know that like that doesn't really matter. The paid at title, yes, I'd love to be, but that shows that like it's hard. It's been tough. 2025 was not an easy year. The economy, just a lot of things. And we, after COVID, COVID went up, went up, went up, and then shot way down. And that was hard because a lot of y'all might have joined right in the middle of COVID or right after. So y'all saw like the greatness. Like this is wow, what's the and now it feels like what's wrong. And honestly, y'all, I would tell you, I don't really believe that there's something wrong. I mean, I do believe that there's like the economy and things like that, but I think that we saw such a I mean, it was crazy in COVID. People were getting stimulus checks. People were staying at home. They needed something to put to be happy and have something in their homes. People were spending an insane amount of money. I don't know that I think that that was an outlier, but I do also with all of my heart because I have been in leadership. I have been able to talk to people in home office. I truly do believe that Scentsy is going to come out of where we are right now. And I know I said that in 2025, but I know I have so much trust in Scentsy that if we just stick through it in the hard times, I really feel like it's going to get better and we're going to get back to where it doesn't feel so hard to get a party. It doesn't feel so hard. Like y'all saw my planner of 2021. I mean, I think in December, this past December, I had one party. So like it is not as easy. I do have to work harder, but I want y'all to think about like, okay, why did I start? Or if you've been with Scentsy for a little while, why did I decide to stay here? Because think about all the things that Scentsy has done for you. For me, it has provided just amazing friends, traveling, of course, income. It's helped me provide for my family. It's helped me have freedom and time and flexibility. It's allowed me to be able to work from home. There's a lot of things it's done for me, but all of you have different stories, and all of you can decide like what do I want for Scentsy? It's okay if you don't want it what I have. That is okay. You do not have to do that. You get to decide what do I want and do I want something bad enough that I'm really going to work for it, even when the times are hard. So also, let me also tell y'all when I had okay in October of 2023, our group number, so this is like my group, Nicole's group, we had 748 people. Right now we have 401. Okay, so I just want y'all to know that like the 401, or especially the 17 of y'all, or 16 of y'all, because not including me, that are on here, have something that a lot of people don't. Okay, y'all want to be here, y'all want to grow, y'all want something out of this business, even if it's completely different from me. That is okay. You determine what do I want for Scentsy, and don't quit on a bad day. That is the biggest thing I want to tell you. When you're discouraged, please don't quit. Please reach out to me. Please reach out to your sponsor. Reach out to your friend. Reach out to Tammy, Amber, whoever it is that you know that you feel like you can reach out to. Um, we really need to be a team in the hard times. And that's one thing I want to say too, as far as Scentsy goes. And a lot of other jobs that you have, maybe y'all's full-time job, or you're not going to get what you get from Scentsy. You're not going to get the relationships, the people that truly actually care, that really care about you as a friend, that really want to know, really want to encourage you. We want to see you succeed. We want to check in about things outside of Scentsy. The encouragement, the cheering on, you're not going to get that at a lot of places. So Scentsy really does have something special. And I think, I really want out of this year with us doing this every month for y'all to feel like you have a place in our team. I know some of y'all have really been to most of our events, some of you haven't. And I want y'all to know that if your sponsor, if your leader, if your director or whatever is not there for y'all, you always have somebody that you can reach out to. And if you feel like you don't have that with somebody, you have that with me, you have that with Amber, you have that with Tammy, you have that with each other, everybody that's in this group. And I don't want y'all to ever feel like y'all have to go through a hard day alone. And so I feel like I kind of rambled just a little bit, but I hope that was helpful. I'm going to unspotlight myself. And if anybody, I know, let's see what time it's 8:30. If anybody wants to say anything, share anything about anything at all, we have a few minutes. If y'all want to share, that's up to you, but I love this group. I love this team. I really feel like we have a special group of people. I really feel like We have a lot of people in this team that have so many different talents, and I think that's why we're better as a team. We're better together because we can share things that have worked for us, and I hope that like going forward, or these calls are going to be more probably training based than this. This was kind of like, for those of you that don't know me or Amber or Tammy very well, we wanted you to feel like you knew who we were since we're going to be leading y'all the next year. So I hope this is helpful just to kind of hear a little bit about our stories and know that like we all have something so different. But we all chose to stay when it got hard. And that's the difference with that's the only difference with people with Scentsy. You're either going to stay when it gets hard, or you're going to say it's not worth it to me. And let me I don't want to say that as like if people decide to leave and you decide that it's not for you anymore, I'm not at all trying to bash that. You have to decide what's best for you. But I do believe that you choose to stay and stick it out, and or you choose to say, you know what, like this is too hard. And I hope that because y'all know you have us, that you don't ever have to feel that way. So I'm gonna stop talking now. If anybody wants to share anything, feel free. Amber, if you have anything else, or Tammy. If not, I really am glad that all of y'all joined tonight.
Start planning for SFR.
Yes, yes, events that I talked about that. I really hope y'all will go to Idaho because that's really going to be cool being at home office. And I know that financially it might be hard, and that's okay. But I also was going to say this about SFR. Everybody that's gone to SFR on my team has never missed another one if they could help it. If there was something going on in life, of course, they never wanted to miss another one. You do not want to miss SFR. There is nothing like it. So, oh my gosh, yes, if y'all have never been, you have got to go. It is so awesome.
Hey, Caitlin, I just wanted to add something real quick. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
Go
cut you
ahead.
off. I was when you talked about it being hard and giving up. If it gets hard, just wait till the next month. I mean, like I came on, Caitlin asked me 10,000 and 1,100 times. And so I was like, okay, I'll come on. Okay. Like just to get her to shut up. But like I got some paychecks off of it because I came, I just had my 5th anniversary, January the 11th. So I came as we were coming out of COVID and people were still buying, but then, my checks like dwindled down a little bit and I was the only one placing the orders. So if it gets hard, who cares? Place an order. Next month, ask somebody else to buy something else and just carry on. I've been here for 5 years. I don't sponsor anybody. I'm here for the relationships. I'm here for SFR and just the relationships. I've met several people that we do still talk. So place an order, carry on next month.
Thank you, Melissa. I love hearing that. I mean, it really like you can decide how much you want to do and how little you want to do. That's the good thing about Scentsy. It's still going to be here next month. If you don't have it in you and you're like, you know what, I haven't sponsored. I don't really care to sponsor. I just want to do this for myself. It's okay. You get to decide. That's the good thing about this business. You get to decide what you want to do with it.
Okay. Can I?
Of course, go ahead.
I don't know if I'm looking at my tag and it says Samsung. Is that what you're seeing?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not Samsung. I'm Kim Earhart, and you invited me, I guess, because of the group that I was invited into. You're not my sponsor. And I came on mostly because I was curious because I really didn't understand why I was invited. So I've been with Scentsy now since March 1st of last year. And I'm very new to the area. We've been here, we've been here 2 years, but my husband and I are refurbishing our house, and that is my job. So I don't get out, I don't meet people, I don't see anybody. So I wanted to thank you for inviting me. I was surprised, and I appreciate that very much. I kind of have floundered on my own since March. And it's been a struggle for me. And there have been times where I've been, why did I do this? Why am I doing this? I did get very good advice, and I did go to SFR. And by being at SFR, that reaffirmed why I like Scentsy as a product. I did not know about the camaraderie and the sense of family and friends and the support. That it was something I was not familiar with. So I found that really completely by accident, because I was a lot, like Amber had said, on my own. I think that was you that said that you were on your own. And so I do appreciate this, and I am very flattered that you invited me, and I wanted to thank you for that. And hope that I can come to the next one, and I'm invited again.
Of
So
course you can. Even if you're
um,
not in our group, you can always be a part of our calls, and you can always sit with us at events. You don't have to be part of our team. I'm glad
well,
that you
thank you
came.
very much. So
Thank you for
that's
sharing
really
that.
all I wanted to say. And like I said, I'm it's very nice to see the group all together, and to kind of be a little included, and maybe get some pointers from other people. I do really appreciate that.
Of course.
Hey, so I just want to chime in real quick. Am I unmuted?
Yes, and I'm going to stop the recording real quick just for the people that watch the recording. So hold on just